The next step is to identify the value that the product or service offers that you've selected for your sales message. And when we say value, value can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but just to simplify it, when we refer to the word value, we're referring to the benefits or improvements that your product can deliver to the particular buyer, customer that you're selling it to. So when you sell something, what do they stand to improve by consuming what you sell? And all we're really trying to do at this step is identify a minimum of 3 benefits, 3 improvements that your product offers. We do break down the concept of value into 3 levels to help you to make sure you're thinking about all the different ways that your product or service can help. And this is kind of designed more for B2B selling, but it can also work a little bit for B2C. But level 1 in the 3 levels of value is technical value. And this is where your product or service can help to improve something as processes or the systems or the people. And so some examples of technical value or technical improvements or technical benefits is that you help to automate manual tasks, make something work better, decrease the amount of time or effort it took to do something. Your product or service made something easier to do, increased visibility and access to information, improved communications, and so on. And when your product delivers technical value or technical improvements, those typically work their way up to create business value or business improvements. And those can be seen in the area of improving revenue, improving costs, decreasing costs, improving the delivery of services. And so some examples of that are improved revenue, market share, close rate, conversion rate, profitability, decreased costs, decreased risk, improved decision making, improved product delivery time, product quality, customer satisfaction. And when your product helps your customer to realize or see business improvements, those will often work their way up to deliver personal value to the person who's purchased your product. Say you sell your services to a VP of HR, when their department realizes technical improvements and business improvements, that can often impact that buyer at a personal level by increasing their income, improving their career, improving their workload, and with examples of increasing personal income such as bonuses and commissions. If you decrease costs for a VP, that might help them to hit their annual bonus more consistently. Decrease personal expenses, create opportunities for career advancement, recognition, decrease workload, decrease stress. So you don't have to remember all of that, but those are some of the different types of value that you can deliver. Now, I will say, if you look at those 3 levels and you're starting to get overwhelmed, don't make this more complicated than it needs to be. And we can keep it simple. Remember that our goal here is just to think of a few benefits that your service delivers or your product delivers. 3 at a minimum, 10 at most. If you want to break them down into technical and business and personal, that's great. The good thing about those 3 levels is that having those 3 levels or those 3 categories will help you to not forget about a particular type of benefit that you might be offering, or it might help you to think of new stuff that you weren't thinking of before. For example, there's some salespeople that only talk about the technical stuff, and those 3 levels can help them to go that extra step and think about the business improvements. There are other salespeople that only talk about the business improvements and forget about really what gets them there, and it's all the technical stuff. And the personal stuff can be easy to forget also. And I just want to point out the personal benefits are often not stuff you want to lead with when you have a cold prospect. That's really good stuff once you've established rapport and when you're engaged and you're at the table and you're really trying to close the deal or build interest. Focusing on those personal improvements can be very powerful. So I want to take you through a process here that you can use to brainstorm and think about your benefits, your improvements, the value that your service delivers. So I'm going to take you through a couple steps here. And the first step is, well, we've already done this. we've already thought about the product that you want to create a message for, and I'm going to use that gym membership salesperson for this demonstration. But the product is a health and fitness club. Here are some features that are part of that product. The next step is we need to identify the target buyer for the sales message. Well, we're building this sales message in this example for individuals that are looking to get healthier. And the next step is to think about when that particular buyer consumes or uses the product that we're creating a sales message for, what are some potential improvements that they can see? Now, this is a little different than just thinking about the product and just saying what are some benefits. We're keeping in mind the particular buyer for this message. So we come up with, if our buyer is someone looking to get healthier, so this might be someone that's overweight or doesn't work out regularly and they're not healthy, then some improvements that they can realize is we might help them to become healthier, decrease stress, feel better, become more confident, improve personal relationships, decrease medical costs, transform their life. So really powerful stuff there. And it's this process that led us to thinking about those things that we might not have thought about. And by the way, if we were the product selling salesperson, we might not even talk about or think, not only not think about, but not talk about this stuff with our buyer. We might be talking about the health and fitness club and the weights. So this really pushes us to that next level. Then what I also want to point out while you're looking at this, just think if we change the target buyer type to somebody else. There's different buyers that you can sell this product to. Let's say we change from someone that's looking to get healthier and we change it to someone who works out every day already and we need to sell to them. Well, the benefits that we have over there aren't really applicable when we change to that. We change the buyer type to say a gym rat. If we're trying to sell to a gym rat that changes from one gym to another, the improvements are different. Maybe the improvements are a 24-hour access to facility, cleaner facility, better personal training, get to the next level. So you can see the benefits change. Here's another example. What if we change from selling to individuals to selling the health and fitness club to businesses to offer as a benefit to their employees? Then the improvements totally change to something completely different. They change to helping small businesses to have a competitive benefits package, helping to improve recruitment of new employees, helping to improve retention, decrease turnover. Totally different benefits. So as you can see, while the product stays the same always, when we change the buyer type, the benefits and improvements change. And this is how we end up with different sales messages that are focused on the different buyer personas that we're engaging with. And this is how you get to that next level. Now, you may go through that and you may be able to think of your 3 or 4 or 5 different benefits and build your sales message, and that's great. If you have trouble with that, or if you want more help brainstorming, here are some questions that you can ask yourself. And so there's questions for each level of value. So here's some technical value brainstorming questions. I'm not going to read through all of these. You can copy these down from the recording or get the slides. But here are questions you can ask yourself to think of different ways that your product can help from a technical standpoint. Here are some questions you can ask yourself to think of business improvements that your product might deliver. And here are some questions you can ask to think about different ways that your product might help the buyer at a personal level.